Okay, so first we have consideration of routine items. It is recommended that the agenda of the July 11th, 2022 regular meeting of the Board of School Trustees be approved as presented. Can I get a motion?
I'll motion.
Melissa will motion. A second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. It's recommended that the minutes of the June 13th, 2022 regular board meeting be approved as presented. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion.
Chris will motion. A second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And then we have statements from the public, and we have Heather Grease.
Hello. I'm going to do the best that I can to not read totally off of this, so this is a good practice session for me. But I did create this from my heart. So, my name is Heather Grease. I'm one of the Spencer County Commissioners. I was chosen for this position by the people of Spencer County and have held this office for 1.5 years. Growing up in Spencer County, I was fortunate enough to attend South Spencer schools up to the 7th grade and graduated from Heritage Hills High School. I come to you today to share the difference in being the best in the world and being the best for the world. Connection is the key to significant leadership. Now more than ever, we need good leaders who have the ability to connect. We need good leaders who have the ability to advocate as much as they develop. Stronger teams that look out for each other, that understand the power of collaboration and innovation during the times of uncertainty. Challenge yourself to be better than you currently are. It is so easy to put people in boxes, draw lines, and creating sides. There is us, and there is them. Those we feel comfortable around, and those we don't. There are those of us with many chapters, and those who are starting their own stories. There are the well-to-do, and those doing what they can. There are those that we share things with, and those that we don't share anything at all. Then there is us. We who have tattoos, we who feel lonely, we who have been bullied, we who have bullied others. We are madly in love, or those who have never loved. We who have overcome great adversity. Then there are the lucky ones whose team won the championship this year, or maybe over the weekend. Do we have any of those champions in the room? Nobody? No winners? I'm a winner. Then there's all of us, brought together as a community, as neighbors, as students, parents, teachers, and this corporation. For the better of our future, I come to you today welcoming the new superintendent, Mr. Brad Schneider. And I ask you to accept the change, embrace the difference. Be who you want to see. We have to believe it to see it. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Yes, this evening, very happy to introduce Amy Chapman and Maggie Cottle, and they are going to give a presentation on the growing healthy students and families through the use of forgotten fields in a rural community. This is a grant, and I'm going to let the ladies tell you all about it.
Thank you. Just to be real quick, we just would like to announce that South Spencer has been awarded a grant with the Indiana Department of Health for just under $26,000. This grant was written to help begin a farm to cafeteria program in the schools. This will allow the nutrition department, headed by Maggie, to source produce from local growers, give additional training to cafeteria staff, purchase equipment, to process produce that can be used throughout the year, offer classes to families about canning and how to use fresh produce at home, and to acquire a curriculum to educate elementary students at school about healthy food choices and growing produce. This project not only benefits our students by serving them healthy foods that were grown in their own community, but also keeps our dollars local and supports local businesses. We do want to thank Melissa Davis, Aaron Meyer from the Purdue Extension Office, and Laura Stoltz from the Wellborn Foundation for their help during the grant writing process. This is the first grant in this area from the Department of Health. There will be more, so we hope to use those funds in the future to help grow this program. This is kind of Maggie's passion, and I enjoy grant writing, so we kind of put our heads together and we got it. That's right. So exciting to, work with local growers. Our kids know where their food's coming from. We know that we're giving them quality food, and our dollars stay here.
Very good. Thank you, ladies. I appreciate your time and effort in making that come to fruition, and we'll look forward to maybe getting a report at the end of the year on how things went.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All right.
thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else?
That is all I have this
Okay,
evening.
and then we have our consent items. So the first one is to approve the payroll claim dockets and the accounts payable claims numbered 626 to 742. Number 2, approve the month-end fund transfers as presented. Number 3, approve the treasurer's financial report. And then number 4, accept the resignations of the following. Approve to post the positions and grant permission to hire: Cindy James, Rockport Elementary Teacher's Aide, effective June 13th, 2022. Caitlin Robinson, Rockport Elementary Cook, effective June 24th, 2022. Mary Kay Hurt, Luce Elementary Daycare Lead, effective June 26th, 2022.
And Mrs. President, I would also like the board to add Maria Rust. We received her resignation late Friday, so we couldn't get it in your board packet. But Maria is resigning her position from the marching band staff, and that is effective immediately. Thank you.
Okay, so after adding Maria Rust, can I get a motion?
I so move that we accept the consent items as presented.
And then a second?
I'll second.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, so consent items approved. And then we have consideration of administrative recommendations. So, Mr. Schneider?
Thank you. The first item in front of the board will be consider approving the in-person learning plan for the 2022-2023 school year. And in your board package, you will find a copy of the proposed in-person learning plan. This plan is required to be filed every 6 months for South Spencer schools to continue receiving ESSER funds. That's some money made available through the COVID. And we use quite a bit of that money for additional staff. So the proposed plan is identical to the plan the South Spencer schools ended the 2021-2022 school year under. This evening, I'd like to recommend the board approve the in-person learning plan as presented.
All right, so can I get a motion to approve the plan?
Motion.
Motion by George, a second.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? So the motion carries 5-0. Then number 2?
Item number 2, consider sending written notification to cancel the current corporation attorney's contract. In your board packet, you'll find a copy of the current legal services agreement with Allison Breeden and Jean Blanton. Please note this consideration is due to the fact that 2 attorneys are now going to work for a different law firm, and while the contract we currently have is with the individual's attorneys, we're simply requesting permission to send written notice to terminate the current contract to avoid any confusion. The board will then have the option to enter into a new contract with the same 2 attorneys or consider additional proposals from other firms. Right? So this this evening, I'd like to recommend the board direct the superintendent to send written notice to terminate the current corporation attorney contract as presented.
Okay, so can we get a motion
I'll make a motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion?
So is that something we can just do termination for default? There's no penalty, there's no
No, just a 30-day notice.
30-day notice?
Yep.
I have a question regarding this. If we do approve this tonight, what is the plan of action to post or advertise this going forward? I would hate to drag out into an additional month if litigation or coverage is needed, to have a special meeting or to do some kind of dancing to get legal counsel. I would suggest that we either add to this motion or add an additional motion to advertise said position. My thoughts.
Agreed, and that would be the plan. I mean, obviously, we have to give them 30 days notice, so we'll still have, we'll have Allison for 30 days, and then, the idea would be to advertise that, and then have a decision ready for the August board meeting.
So the services are good till the end of July?
Basically,
Yes.
30 days from,
30
so
days.
today's July 11th, so.
30 days from today.
August 10th.
I only asked because she said that she's already been working for the other firm for 2 weeks. So I
Right.
just wanna make sure we're compliant there legally.
We're compliant. I mean, the contract is really with myself and Jean. We signed as individuals and as partners of our former firm. And so just to make sure the board is clear, I recommended that we go ahead and give notice of termination to the former firm, just so there's no questions. Okay.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And then number 3.
Agenda item 3 will be consider approving textbook rental fees and fees for high school and elementary schools for the 2022-2023 school year. In your board package, you'll find a proposed list of high school textbook rental fees, as well as a textbook rental and fees for Luce and Rockport Elementary for the 2022-2023 school year. I recommend the board approve the high school and elementary textbook rental fees as presented.
Okay, so can I get a motion
I'll motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And then number 4.
Yes, item number 4 will be consider approving the 2022-2023 High Ability Handbook. In your packets, you will find a copy of the proposed High Ability Handbook for the 2022-2023 school year. I recommend the board approve the handbook as presented.
Can I get a motion?
I'll
Make a
motion. I'm sorry. George can do it.
George can motion, a second?
I will second.
Any discussion on the handbook? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And then we have consideration of personnel recommendations. So item number 1.
Yes. Consider hiring chemistry teacher at South Spencer High School. In your packet, you'll find a recommendation to hire Kevin Scott Page for the position of chemistry teacher at the high school. Mr. Page is a licensed chemistry teacher and certified to teach AP classes, which is a bonus. Let's see here. We did hold, the job was posted, we did hold interviews. As I stated, Mr. Bush is recommending Mr. Page. So this evening, I'd like to recommend we hire Kevin Scott Page as chemistry teacher as presented.
Can I get a motion
I'll make a motion.
and a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And then recommendation number 2.
Thank you. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, we'd like to recommend the position of teacher aide at Luce Elementary. We hire Abby Engelbaugh for the 2022-2023 school year as presented.
Can I get a motion?
I'll motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And then recommendation number 3.
Thank you. Yes, in your board packet, you'll find a request from Rockport Principal, Mr. Rick Hunt, for an additional half-time speech-language pathologist for the upcoming school year. And this is based on caseloads. We currently employ 1 full-time and 1 half-time speech-language pathologist, and they serve over 140 students. Our half-time SLP has resigned that position, which means we'll be seeking a full-time speech-language position for the 2022-2023 school year. I recommend the board approve the addition of a half-time SLP for the 2022-2023 school year as presented. And again, we're adding half to the staff members we had last year.
All right, can I get a motion?
I'll motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. And then there were written reports to the board that included the technology report, the maintenance report, and the transportation report. Are there any statements or concerns of the board?
The only statement that I have is I would like to officially welcome Mr. Schneider to South Spencer School Corporation. His job was effective July 1st, and I would just like to welcome him to South Spencer. And then also the community is invited to a reception in the commons area. There's just going to be some water and some cupcakes. If you guys have any questions to ask Mr. Schneider or to the board, you're more than welcome to come to us and just have a little discussion.
I'll second that.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's, I can't tell you how much Sam and I appreciate the warm welcome, the many well wishes that we've received since being named superintendent here at South Spencer. Super excited. The more people I meet, staff, teachers, support staff people, the more excited I get. So looking forward to working with the board, with the administration, with parents, with students, with our community members, our government leaders, and doing everything we can to make South Spencer School Corporation a truly great place for kids. I will be all about kids. I can promise you that. And I'm very excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to it. So thank you.
Anything else from the board? Okay, our next regular meeting will be Monday, August 8th, 2022 at 6 p.m. here in the multipurpose room at the high school. I would also like to ask the board to look at your calendars before the next meeting to have a public work session to discuss the property as well. So kind of take a look at your calendars, and over the next few days, maybe we can get something set.
Are you wanting to get this scheduled within the next 2 weeks?
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
And for the public who may not be familiar with work sessions, it's an opportunity for the board to have discussions, share ideas. In those work sessions, they must be posted. They're open to the public. We can take no votes, we can make no decisions, but it's a good opportunity, a good way for the board to legally come together, sit down, share ideas, and like I say, come up with the best possible plan moving forward. So that's what we're talking about.
so meeting is adjourned at 6:20. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0, so the meeting is adjourned. And then we have a few things to sign as well.
Can I ask, I was unclear if you were hiring a second full-time speech pathologist? Yeah, because
The
now there's
position would be
two
full-time,
full-time
yes.
instead of a second.
Yes,
Okay,
we were
that's what
1 and a
I
half,
thought.
so yes.
I was a little
We're
bit.
adding additional half person, but it'll, yes. It'll be a
Yeah,
full
I
person.
gotcha.
Yeah, no, I said that and I thought, that could be confusing.
I thought that's what you were saying.